Alrighty, welcome to our next episode of the TribeCast. This is our first summer episode, and we have a special guest here, Mayor.
Yeah.
Now, how's that fun to say?
It's cool, man. I haven't got tired of it yet. Yeah.
Mayor, do you go by Ronald now?
Ronald, yeah, I'm official, man.
Official, yeah. Mayor Ronald Morrell, but I knew you as Ronnie back in
That's me,
Indiana Wesleyan University. Thanks for coming on, man.
Man, thanks for having me, man. I think it's a great show. It'll be a great opportunity.
Yeah, and your life has probably gotten pretty busy over the last.
Slightly, man. Over the last.
So when were you inducted in?
January 1st.
January 1st. Yep. So over the last 4 or 5 months,
it's been 5 months.
Kind of been pretty
man.
hectic.
It has been. It's a lot of learning and a lot of just trying to understand what's all going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that a little bit here later. But let's talk about just kind of how we introduce everybody. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of where you're born, where you grew up, and kind of how you got into what you're in now. Obviously, the mayor.
Yeah. So I obviously from Ronald Morrell Jr., born and raised in Marion, Indiana. I have a wife and 2 daughters, 4-year-old and 2-year-old. I went to Indiana Wesleyan, as we stated before. Again, I was born and raised in Marion, Indiana, and have a heart for the city. And I ended up running for mayor because in my previous career, I was the executive director for the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, yeah.
And I had a group of kids when I first started there tell me, I asked them, what they want to do when they grow up, what they want professionally. And they all say, I want to go to the NBA, which if you know Indiana, and specifically Marion, that's a very typical answer, right? So then I said, okay, what's your second option? What else would you want to do? And then they said, well, the only thing we can think of is sell drugs, right? So in their mind, they could think of going right to the NBA or going right to the street. So I want to show them that, you can be from Marion, Indiana, and, be anything you want to be, and anything is possible, even if you want to be the mayor. So
of course.
That's how we got here. So, yeah.
Of course, man. And I remember because you started your kind of campaign, like a full year and a half before you started running, and I remember all the posters, and man, it was fun. It was definitely fun. I feel like it's even cooler because I knew you before that.
Right.
We knew each other at Indiana Wesleyan, so I knew the drummer.
Yeah,
drummer Ronnie Morrell, and now I know the mayor Ronald Morrell. So
I played actually, which was cool how this intersected on my State of the City address. I had a band come and play.
And you got to play with them?
Yeah, I got to play. And actually, one of our former classmates, John, you remember John?
Darty?
Yeah. He
Saxophone?
He saxophone with this band. And after I finished my State of the City address, I went and played drums with them.
Nah, that's so cool. Yeah, John was phenomenal.
Yeah, man,
he still is, I'm sure.
Yep.
But let's talk a little bit that growing up. You grew up in Marion, and I know this. I don't know how many of our we typically get a lot of Gas City viewers, but our students kind of wanted to expand it to more than just Gas City, because Grant County is we're kind of like a little family here in Grant County. We got 5 different school districts, but we all support each other, right?
Yep.
So expanding it to Grant County, but the Morrell family is very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. I know you personally have started a couple businesses and then no longer do those. But tell us a little bit about your family background and just kind of why they love starting businesses.
My grandfather was the patriarch behind all of this. So he started Morrell Flood Covering, which I think would be 63 years ago.
That's
now.
the one over on
Lincoln Boulevard.
Lincoln, yeah.
63 years ago now, and it's still been open. As far as historically, it's the longest open black-owned business in Grant County history.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's been doing that now for 63 years. He turns 81 this year. Yep,
wow.
So 60. That's right, because he started when he was 18. So it's been 63 years. So that's that, and then my aunt owns Anytime Fitness in Marion.
Oh, okay.
And then let me see, what other entrepreneur? My dad's an entrepreneur too. He had started with what was Morrell's Fish and Chicken. Now he sold that. And then let me see, am I missing anybody else? I think that's it. Then myself, I own Morrell Scooters, so we operate now on Ball State's campus.
Okay.
And then I own an event center downtown called Elevated Events.
Yep.
So, so my grandpa started all that, man, and really kind of put the entrepreneurial spirit into our family, and we just kind of been going from there.
Yeah, I didn't know you still had the scooter business.
I still have them, man. Yeah.
So they're not running around here anymore?
No, just in Ball State. So what happened was I had to make a choice, man. Especially I started this probably a year ago. I reached out to a few different universities, and I ended up landing with Ball State. and it was such a unique opportunity that I had to take all my operations just focus right on that campus.
Because it's a big campus, so.
Yeah, it's a big campus, and I have one full-time employee that does that over there, so it's a great opportunity for the business.
Nice, man.
Yeah, so.
No, that's exciting. I remember Morrell's Fish and Chicken, so he sold that, you said.
That's my dad. Yeah. Now
so is it still running as something else?
Business, new business in there.
Imagine is there now, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, Imagine Burger. I've never had Imagine Burger.
You should go try them out, man.
I've heard they're pretty good.
Peanut butter and jelly burger. That's really good.
Peanut butter and jelly burger?
Man.
What is that?
It's amazing. You got to try it, man.
Because they're based out of Converse.
Yep.
I was going to say Converse or Sweets or one of the two, but
so.
No, that's exciting. And I remember when you started the scooter business, I think my favorite post about you starting the scooter business was one day, obviously, because people, they don't return their scooters to where they're supposed to return them.
Yeah.
I remember you posted a Facebook Live climbing through the woods behind the splash house.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
people like, I mean, that's one of the businesses, that's the hardest part of that business. I mean, that business would be completely the easiest business in the world if people just took care of the scooters. You know what I mean? But because they don't.
But who takes care of things? Nobody.
So now you got to go through in situations, climb through the woods, go in the river and pull us out. There's all kinds of stuff you got to do. But
I remember watching that Facebook Live. I was like, man, this guy is crazy.
Nevertheless, man, it's it's been a great business to have, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what, through all your entrepreneurial and through your family, what kind of life lessons or skills have you kind of learned and been able to learn through that and just kind of use now as a mayor?
I would say, man, it's a lot of them. If I was to try to sum it up in just one, though, is the worst thing that somebody can say to you is no. Like, you got to ask. Like, if you don't ask, then you're never going to get any of the stuff. Like, so even when I first was starting my scooter business, I had to ask. You had to go out around and ask cities because it was foreign around, especially in these small towns. Like, you had to go out and ask the mayors of the city council, et cetera, to be brave. You had to make yourself brave enough to go and ask, like, I got this crazy business. I know you've never heard of it before. Nobody else is doing this, but you download this app and you do the scooter, and I think it'll work. And then
I think it'll work.
and then you just go from there, So you just have to. You can't be afraid of no. That's the biggest thing. Now transitioning that into like the political realm and being mayor, it's the same thing. You can't be afraid of being no. People tell me no every day, and then they tell you no, yes. I hate you, dislike you, no matter what you do, you know what I mean? So you can't be afraid of no, and you can't be afraid of criticism. So that's the one thing I say. And if I was just to do two, I would say make a decision. Like, some people get so scared to make a decision from backlashes or whatever the case, like whatever the thing is coming from it, but you have to just be comfortable enough in yourself to make a decision. Sometimes it'll be wrong. Like, you have to make a wrong decision, but still make a decision.
That reminds me of when I was growing up. I played baseball forever, right? Mm-hmm. So they would always tell me, we don't care if you strike out. You better strike out swinging.
Yeah, you got to swing.
Right? So I mean, you're going to fail in life. Everybody's going to fail, but you need to go down making decisions swinging 100%. On all your decisions, and then you'll learn and get better next time, right?
You got to swing. I mean, my grandfather's a fisherman. And he always say,
fishing is...
Yeah, he said, you'll never catch a fish if your bait's not in the water.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you can be... How this happened is he's a bass fisherman. I don't know if you've ever been bass fishing before. Bass fishing is very, like, sporty, right? You got a whole bunch of casting over and over again, and you might not catch nothing all day. And then I would be sitting in the back of his boat, like, super discouraged because, like, man, I've been casting this spinnerbait all day. I haven't caught nothing, and I was just sitting, and it's like... lean back in the chair and let my pole just hang without casting. And he would look back at me and say, no, you're never going to catch a fish. Your bait's not in the water. And then as I got older, I really started thinking about that. It's like, if you don't put the effort forward and at least try, you're never going to get it.
Exactly.
So you have a better chance of catching a fish with your bait in the water than with it sitting in the boat.
Or as the famous Wayne Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I love it.
Yeah, so that's what I would say.
Yeah. So did your wife also go to Indiana Wesleyan?
She went online though, but she did go to Indiana Wesleyan. Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't think I've ever officially met her, and her name is Ariana.
Ariana, yeah.
And two little daughters.
Yeah, Olivia,
and what was it?
Alani.
Yeah, so what's it like being a dad and a husband as a mayor?
My kids aren't for the dad first. My kids aren't old enough to. I mean, they know that I'm the mayor, but it doesn't really register what all that is. Like
what you do, kind of.
My 4-year-old knows I'm the mayor. They know City Hall. They know I'm going to work and meetings and stuff. So for them, it's just just like any other job. I'm going to work, then I'm coming home. Being married and being in any kind of leadership position that's really front facing is always, you have to remember that you have a family first, right? It's easy to get wrapped up in your job and trying to accomplish this and pushing that, but what I've been trying to be really intentional on is, making sure that I'm putting my family first in these situations, going to the T-ball games, making time for date nights with me and my wife, and et cetera. All these things that, are essential to really any marriage. Mm-hmm. But the challenge that Mayor does with it is everywhere you go especially in town, really, everywhere you go, you're always the mayor. It's not like you either just go to work. And then
you can't ever take the mayor hat off.
You're always the mayor where you are.
Oh,
so that's an adjustment period, and so just being able to navigate that and still being able to have family time.
And I'm sure you're not able to tell Ariana everything you do too.
You can't. No, you can't.
Because there's a lot of things that you're trying to get going. You're not allowed to tell people.
And that's another challenge, right? Because in a marriage, you're
supposed to tell each other everything. Yeah.
Some stuff, and these roles, you just can't say nothing, man. It's just like, and it really, because then you end up just harboring on the inside, because really you can't really tell anybody other than the people who were posting on in that.
Oh, we've all had those secrets.
Yeah,
I want to tell somebody.
Yeah, man.
It doesn't matter who it is. Yeah, I want to tell somebody, but I'm sure she's pretty good at understanding that. 100%, at least,
man. I wouldn't be able to do it without her, man. She's amazing.
Cool, man. I remember one of your first campaign things you did was you held I don't even know if this was a part of your campaign or not, but you held a basketball tournament. Was that you?
That was a part of my campaign.
The basketball tournament up at, what's that park called up there?
We did it at my cousin Andrew Morrell's house, actually, down on Booth Street.
Yeah.
So, that was one of the things. It was actually called the King of the Court. I might do that again this
year,
actually.
I like to think I'm good at basketball, but then I get out on the streets and play with some of those guys. I'm more of a gym 3 and D kind of player.
We might run that back this year. Whether it might be late August, September before we can get it done, because we're redoing a basketball court at Charles Park.
Okay, and you guys are adding a fitness park in there too now, aren't you?
That's going to be great, man. So. We might run that back this year. It was King of the Court, what it's called, basically one-on-one basketball tournament.
I had a couple students playing that. I think. I don't know if you know them, the Jacobs family.
I do remember them.
Tyvon and Trey Jacobs.
They did pretty good too.
They're pretty good. They're a couple of my students here, so
it was a very competitive experience. And as people know, Indiana is the basketball capital of the United States, right? And then within Indiana, I think Marion is the basketball capital of the state, right? When you look at
just the history.
Yeah, man, look at the stats,
people could argue like Newcastle, stuff like that, where Hoosiers is from, but Marion back in the 80s, and
we've been good at a few different segments of the history, So, so we did a basketball time.
I think at one point Marion was the biggest basketball high school gym in the state, wasn't it?
I think Newcastle might be always. I know Marion is tied for.
They're up there.
Marion is tied for. Oh yeah, they're in the top 5 definitely. But Marion is tied for the most state championships in basketball.
And you have players like Zach Randolph that have come through, James Blackman, all the Blackman kids.
Jay Edwards. We had a lot of players, man.
Just a quick off topic. One of the Blackman kids that people never really talk about?
Which one?
Katrina.
She was really good too.
She played at Indiana Wesleyan, and she was
really good.
She
was there, and they
good.
won the national championship.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And people always talk about James Jr. and VJ and Jalen, but I feel like Katrina doesn't get as much love.
Man. She was really good.
She was dominant. I was scared to.
Me and her was in high school together too at the same time. So she was really good.
Well, let's go forward a little bit. I know you've only been a mayor for so long, for 6 months, but in those 6 months, what would you say is probably your greatest accomplishment so far?
Man, greatest accomplishment. We have a lot of things that I think are competing, but if I was to say one, the reason why I say it is called, we established what's called a riverfront district in the city of Marion. And so
I remember seeing something about that. You might need to explain that a little bit more.
I'll go into it, right? So this has been something that they have been working on in the city of Marion for like the last 15 years, and it's never able to get passed. So in my first 5 months, we were able to do this. And what this basically does is it's an economic development tool and an incentive for businesses, restaurants, et cetera, to move into your downtown. So for those who don't know, the city of Marion, all of the liquor licenses are gone. Like you can't get anymore. So like say if let's call something Chili's or a Outback Steakhouse, any restaurant establishment wanted to come to Marion, they wouldn't be able to get a liquor license because they're gone.
Huh. Right. So real quick, is that like I didn't know that. Is that like a city thing to where you only have so many to give out?
The state of Indiana makes a rule for population, how many liquor licenses a county can have.
That's interesting. Well, that just limits a lot of different businesses that could come through.
Yeah, it could shut you down, right?
Yeah.
So now with this, so then the state also created this. I'm not gonna call it a loophole, but whatever. Where if you have a river in your town, you can develop something called a riverfront district, and based off of 1,500 feet from your river, head to the direction north or south. So in this situation, we went south. 1,500 feet from a river, you can create what's called a riverfront district, and within that district, the city can issue unlimited liquor licenses. So then what that does is as an additional incentive for people to, first of all, our rivers downtown, to move downtown, and second of all, a lot of those restaurants, even like hotels or something that have bars in them, now they can actually move into the downtown and be able to get into business for $1,000. They only cost $1,000.
That's
so
interesting.
A normal liquor license that can move anywhere across the city is like $40,000.
Wow.
And people who, if you can convince somebody to sell them, they're selling them in the aftermarket for like $150,000 to $200,000. They're only supposed to cost $40,000, but now in this riverfront district, you can come in and get one established for only $1,000. But now how the rules are a little bit tricky, like you can't move it outside that district as a state downtown in that space. If you ever go out of business, it goes back to the city. So there's no way you can move.
Yeah, there's no loopholes to get out of that.
Right,
No, that's cool. I remember when you posted something about that. That not even just a liquor license. That just creates like a new kind of momentum for downtown.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of growth in downtown Marion. For those of you that don't know, I live in Marion.
Yeah.
Me and my wife live in Marion, but we both work here at the high school. So we're invested in Gas City and Marion, obviously. A little more in Gas City just because that's where our jobs and kids are going to go. But, I mean, we live in Marion. We want places to go to. We want a good life to live up there, too. So we've seen a lot of growth in the downtown with the Boston Hill Center kind of growing. The new Obies. Obies.
And see what's cool about them.
Is that within that?
Yes. So this is how
nice.
it benefit businesses like them. So like Obies came in, they currently only have a beer and wine two-way license, right? Because when they were opening, there was no more liquor licenses left. So now with this establishment, this riverfront district, they will be able to go to the full
liquor license,
full three-way, right? And so that'll boost their sales. You know.
No, that's
and
cool.
The same thing with like Los Amores.
Okay. Yep.
They'll be able to get a liquor license. So it'll benefit. I mean, even the ice cream shop if they want to sell.
If they want to sell some alcoholic ice cream.
So I mean, and it's not. I mean, I don't want people to think that this is just like a liquor ordinance.
No,
you know what I mean. But it helps businesses expand their growth, and it helps attract.
For sure.
New ones.
So what does where does it expand to?
The parameters are from a street name. It goes from First Street, which is right on the river, all the way back to 9th Street, which is
That's by the old train station, isn't it? No, it's the library. Okay,
right around where library is at, and then it goes over west to Spencer. And goes east to McClure. So that's the space.
That's a big space there.
Yeah, yep.
I like that for sure.
Yeah.
So moving on from that, who? Again, you've only been doing this for 6 months. Who have you kind of leaned on? Who are some of your role models? Not even just as a mayor, just like in life. Who are some of your role models? Who are some people that have kind of given you some great advice? Kind of just who are you leaning on at this time?
So a couple of mayors I'll give credit to. First, always bust his chops pretty hard every time I'm on the air somewhere, but I give him some love here. Mayor Bill Rock in Gas City. He's been a resource for me. Anytime I need to talk to him, anywhere we are, you know, he always, even when I was going through passing this riverfront, the fitness court that we're doing, the Gas City had did it too. Now we built a bigger one in Gas City, but Gas City did it too. But I talked to him about how he went through the process and all those kind of things. So him as a mayor, and there's another mayor in Noblesville called his name is Mayor Chris Jensen. He's been a big resource for me, as well as Mayor Fadness and Fishers. We're kind of the 3 local area mayors, but I'm also a part of a group called Republican Mayors Association. I'm one of the board members one of the founding board members of that, and that's a nationwide group. So mayors from the mayor of Dallas, mayors from New Jersey, California, Ohio, across the whole United States, all come together, and I'm one of those founding board members, so that's been really huge. And then just in life, aside from the mayor thing, just my grandparents, father, etc. Those are always grounding people for me to help me. So
I love it. Yeah. Mayor Bill Rock is, I mean, I don't want to get political on our podcast, but he's done so many great things for.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Gas City's been growing like crazy.
Yeah, man. He's killing it, man.
And I don't know if you've seen it, but if you guys haven't seen it, go check. We interviewed him a month and a half ago at this point, and he was letting us in on some secrets.
Oh, really?
For things happening in Gas City here coming up. So you definitely got to check that one out. Speaking of Bill Rock, have you guys had the bet yet? The city bet?
We did. I beat
for basketball.
Yeah.
Well, of course you always beat us for basketball.
Yeah. Football. I might. I don't know. No. Wait a minute. This year we might be okay. This year. But we'll make the bet. We'll make the bet for football too. Yeah, we'll make it. Yeah.
So Marion actually dropped classes this year
in basketball.
Yes, we'll probably be in the same sectional this year as well,
that'd be really
which is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think we can win state this year. Actually,
we'll see.
Yeah, I think we can do it, man.
Hey, really. No, it's always exciting to see. Obviously, Marion has not been in our class for a while,
right?
But anytime Mississippi and Marion go up against anything, it's intense.
Yeah,
big rivalry. So that'll be fun moving forward. But so you've born and raised in Marion.
Yeah.
So you haven't ever really lived in like a big city, right?
I never
so
have, man.
I'm from Indianapolis originally, so I know the big city life. But just from your viewpoint, and I'm not going to say Marion's small. Marion it's small compared to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
But like Gas City's small,
right.
compared to Marion.
Right.
So let's just say a smaller city. What do you think are some advantages of smaller cities? Compared to a big city.
In Indianapolis, just any big city, I think one thing that comes to my mind from an entrepreneurial standpoint is less red tape. Like if you're trying to get started and get rolling, in a city like Marion, it's at least less expensive. You don't have as much competition. It's more affordable to win and lose in the city of Marion. That's from an entrepreneurial standpoint. And another, it's easier to, I don't call it easier, but there's a clear pathway to move up in whatever industry you're in. If you're, have soft skills, you're professional, you have the things that job, you can accelerate in whatever the positions you're seeking, because, so many people in Marion and in all of Grant County are looking to hire professionals, and they're desperately searching for that every day. So I would say one of the advantages we have in a small city is it's easier to get yourself established as opposed to a larger city. And one unique thing about Marion is we're an hour from Indianapolis, hour and a half from downtown, hour 45 from the airport, and then we're 45 to 50 minutes away from Fort Wayne. So we're like right halfway between.
Perfectly in between.
Yeah, both of the major spaces. So
and Kokomo's not that far away. Kokomo's not as big, but it's bigger than us.
Definitely. Yep.
So for sure.
Only 30 minutes away. So we're right in the central location to be able to hit all the major spots.
No, I'm from Indianapolis, so I'll always say I'm a city boy. My wife will always say I'm a city boy.
Yeah.
But there's some about living in small towns that, I love the people. They at least since what I've seen so far, they tend to support each other a lot more in small towns than big cities. So I did this to Bill Rock. I gotta ask you.
Okay.
You can say no.
Okay.
But is there anything on the horizon that you haven't announced yet that you're at least willing to talk about? You don't have to give any specifics.
Okay.
In Marion that we may be looking forward to here soon.
I've been kind of flirting with this announcement, giving hints at it, but I'll give you some more
breaking news.
Yeah, I'll give you more details on this podcast, right? So, the Grant County Economic Growth Council did a housing study for the whole entire county, and it shows that we're at a severe housing shortage. I think it was like 500 houses, 300 houses a year, or like units, whatever you call it, for the next 5 years in a row. So about 1,500 houses short. So, myself and Gas City as well have been pursuing housing projects, and the reason why we're doing so much in this riverfront, we have a major development going to occur down there where it's going to be kind of a mixed use, looking right over the river. It'll be a restaurant on the bottom, and then 3 to 4 levels of living above that. Kind of similar, when I first sat out on this vision, I thought of Citrus from Indianapolis. You might know this on 86th Street. You know the Ironworks building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know how they have Ruth Chris. So we're not getting Ruth Chris, but you know how they have Ruth Chris on the bottom and all that stuff.
And then like the apartments above it.
Same concept.
Okay.
But right on the river.
We go there all the time.
Yep.
We're actually going there on Saturday.
Hey,
so
yeah.
in that same, they have obviously the Ironworks apartment building, but they also have the Ironworks hotel right next to it. Mm-hmm. And down the basement there is our massage place. So we go get massages there all the time.
It's like I need to go become a teacher, man. Yeah.
Hey, so you heard it here first. Marion's getting a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But no, that's cool. Is it a building that's already there, or is it a building that's going to be built?
This will be Marion's first brand new housing development since the housing Arbor Home behind Meyer.
Oh yeah,
that was in 2008.
Okay, so it's been almost about 15 years.
Yeah, yep. So
16 years.
Yeah, and the last time anything new was built, like, now I don't want to misquote this, but I'm pretty sure like the last new major development we had in the city of Marion was something that wasn't there, didn't get built, not remodeling. But
ground up.
Cafe Valley.
Cafe Valley.
Yeah,
okay.
So around that, so that was like 2013, 14. So, maybe 2013, 12 through 14, something like that. So 8, then 14, and then here we are 24. So it's been 10 years since we've had some kind of major development. So we're looking at that downtown. Things are going well. It's looking like it's going to be about a $12 million project, and it'll be life changing for the.
Oh, that'll be so cool
for the skyline of our downtown.
Yeah.
Ever, So then now all the projects that we have been doing start making sense, right? Because right where this is being developed is where the walkway stops, so then people can get right out of their apartment.
Right there by the bank?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So then they can get right out of their apartment or a restaurant, hop right on the walkway, or go right to Charles Park, or go. All this stuff starts connecting together, and now this is also right in the riverfront district as well.
That's so cool.
Yep.
Now we got to get a place like Ruth's Chris or something like that.
Marion,
it doesn't have to be that fancy.
Trying to be realistic, like Marion probably can't contain Ruth's Chris, but we can contain like a
Olive Garden,
like something that costs $50-$60 a person.
Yeah,
$50 to $70 a person.
Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to think what restaurants are like that, like
I don't even
like
know.
a mid tier, like not all the way to Ruth's Chris, but more like
a Logan's or like
Logan's.
We obviously have Roadhouse, but
Roadhouse, Outback. I'm trying to think of one more level right above like Texas Roadhouse and those kind of.
I can't even think.
It probably happen to be like a boutique restaurant as opposed to like a chain. Something that's like that's charging you that. I mean, we have like the Tomahawk. Have you been there? The country.
I've never been there, but yeah, I know there's
something like that.
Okay.
But in our downtown core.
Cool.
Yeah.
But then you got apartments. No, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, man. So.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting stuff. I mentioned it.
Yeah.
We used to have one. I was not here when we had an Olive Garden.
Yes. I wasn't here when we were here either. I don't think I was either. I don't think I was.
I heard it was in the building that's now the old Gabriel's Pancake House.
Now I can't. Now there's a restaurant looking to move into there.
Is there really?
Yeah. I mean,
can you?
I can. I don't. Well, actually,
don't give us a name, but
I can't even remember the name. But it's a Chinese buffet.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Chinese buffets always do good here.
Chinese buffet, man. So that'll be a good
one. I had a follow-up question to that, and I just forgot what it was. The people that own Gabriel's, are they the people that own the train station cafe now?
Gabriel's. No, Gabriel's is owned by a totally different person.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Gabriel's is closed. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I thought I heard a rumor that those people moved to make the train station cafe.
I don't know.
I'm not sure though.
And they probably were renting Gabriel's then because Gabriel's is owned by a guy out of like Florida or something like that. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
People out of state always own our buildings.
Yeah, right. So.
Speaking of down by Cafe Valley, used to be a huge RCA factory down there. RCA, obviously, I don't even know when they shut down, but it's been a while now.
Which is crazy since you realize I didn't. So again, I was a kid when RCA closed.
Yeah.
You realize RCA used to go all the way to the corner where Cafe Valley is, and then all the way to the other side.
So Cafe Valley bought part of that and built there.
RCA
was huge.
It used to go from right there on 38th Street all the way to 33rd. That's insane. But anyway,
well, because you see the two buildings that are left over.
Yes, yeah.
Now, again, you can say no if you don't know or whatever, but there's been a lot of construction or stuff happening over there.
So it's a business that's moving. It's called Re-Element. It's a battery recycling plant.
Okay.
Right. So they're in the phase right now, just basically doing that. Just that.
So are they taking the big factory, or are they taking like the smaller building? Right.
They'll be in the big factory.
Okay.
The big factory and the smaller building. You have to have them on sometime. They can tell you more about it. But I'll give you a high level. In that smaller building, they're looking to start like a co-working entrepreneurial space where people can have like cheaper offices for rent, etc. But in the big factory of it, that's where they're operating. And a portion, again, I think, man, even that big factory that's still left, they didn't tore all that stuff down. Still like 300,000 square feet.
I was gonna say they've torn a lot down, but there's still a lot left.
So they're gonna take a portion of it for their battery manufacturing.
Okay.
Battery recycling plant. But then they're gonna start trying to rent out other portions of it because 20,000 square feet, that's a big facility. Even so, you can do a lot of business, and you start when you start subdividing that 300,000 square feet up. So
that's cool.
I wish them the best of luck. They're doing a great job. If you ride past there now, you'll see they're tearing stuff down. Walls are getting moved and painting, and there's all kind of stuff. There's no roof. There's no roof on the place. So they got to do no roof, which is insane.
I was gonna say they've done a lot to it already, but there's still a lot left to go.
So they're working on it, man.
No, that's exciting. I was gonna ask about some sort of factory because a couple other people on the podcast, at least down in Gas City, they were asking for some sort of, not like anything specific, but just like the manufacturing kind of jobs or trade schools or that kind of stuff. Just because we don't have a whole lot of that around here anymore. Ever since RCA closed, a lot of the factories down by the flooring, your grandpa's flooring company, all left. They're all gone.
Which is crazy. Again, this would have been like 2000 to 2004, so that makes me, how old was I in 2000? 24 years? I was 6. So makes me like 6 to 10 years old.
So are you 29 right now?
31.
31?
Yeah, so that's right. That's the right math.
Okay, I was born in 94.
I was born in 93.
Okay, so
24 years ago, I was 7. So it makes me 7 to 10 when all this stuff was closing. And as a kid, you really weren't processing it.
No, yeah.
But that 2000, 2004 was a rough time because we had all these major factories, RCA, Dana, Foster Ford, etc.
Oh, I forgot about Dana. Yeah.
And then there's a couple more. Bill Fiber, I think, another one too. All of them closed like right in that same window. And that's like that employed like I think they said like 8,000 people just in those 4 factories. So I think there's a couple lessons from that one. Of course, if who you want to call something random. If Tesla want to come and build a factory in Marion, I'll be excited. Of course, I'll take it.
Yeah.
All those 6,000 jobs. But I think we have to learn from history and say that, okay, it's kind of dangerous for us to throw all of our eggs in that one basket. It might be better for us to diversify our employment, right? So instead of having one place,
have 5 or 6
people, which I was grateful, take it for it, right? If somebody came to me,
if Amazon wanted to come in and build
mountains to make it happen, you know what I mean? But I think it might be a better strategy for our city to have 50 businesses with 100 people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's more because one or two.
Well, yeah, because if you did have an Amazon come in and I mean, God forbid Amazon shuts down, like it's not going to anytime soon, but they do, then you lose 10,000 jobs compared to
just like that, right? So I mean, again, attracting 50 businesses with 100 people isn't the easiest thing in the world, but I think over the next, you think about that with that concept over the next 10 years, it gives you like, okay, we might be able to get 2 this year, maybe 3. We might get 1 over the next 3 years. But if we keep on that same track of attracting, which technically I guess is still a small business, 100 employees or less falls under that small business category, right? But we have some great businesses within our city that are that fall in that small business category that are really pillars for our community. And I think if we can start attracting more spaces like that, that puts us in a safer position.
For sure. No, yeah, I've definitely seen the growth, and I'm excited for it. Like I said, I live in Marion. I want things to do with my daughter and stuff.
100%, man.
Matter Park is something that we love going to. I don't even know if I had a question there. The only question I do you know anything about the Garfields? The Garfield in Matter Park is not there anymore.
Somebody stole them statues.
You think so?
No, they did. Somebody stole them. So, and then the ones the one in Friendship Park for sure. Like, Friendship Park is the bigger one with the soft, towards the back of Matter Park. They used to have 2 statues in the front, like a girl in a wheelchair because it's a wheelchair accessible. Somebody stole it, and we don't know where it's at, so we're just going to raise some money and put it back. But Matter Park,
why would you steal a statue?
First of all, how complicated that is. Like,
those aren't just cheap, like screwed in.
They're heavy statues, man. So somebody literally had to come in and unbolt it from the concrete, carry it, and lift it into wherever they put it in. So it's a big deal. But again, if people were to ask me what I think Marion's greatest asset is, I would I would always point to
Matter Park's great.
Yeah, I would point to Matter Park as the greatest asset that we have because it's something that can be used by everyone, first of all. And second of all, it's just simply beautiful. I think somebody told me yesterday it's 98 acres, something like that.
Wow.
Of just park. And to think about that, think about a city our size, to have that is incredible, right? So I actually, it was funny you asked about that. I went on a tour yesterday with Matter Park with our head of streets and parks and just kind of going through and like picking out different things that I want to see done, remodeling, and change, et cetera. So we're going to start investing more money into the park and replacing some cleaning up really,
yeah.
replacing some concrete, cleaning things off. You know, obviously the walkway that we just repaved runs through there. There's some older playground equipment that's like 20 years old that we're going to try to get changed out. But yeah, it's a great asset for us.
I mean, you got obviously the park and all the trails that they have.
Yeah.
You got the river walk that goes through there. You got disc golfing course in there.
Yep.
The pickleball courts are relatively new compared to, at least they weren't here when I was in college.
Right. Yep.
No, pickleball's a hit down there now.
That's unbelievable. How serious
I love
people
it,
are.
but it's I can't even go down there on the nights I want to because all
always packed.
the women's Marion pickleball club is just, and they're mean too.
There's people are serious.
Serious about their pickleball.
I just learned yesterday, man. There's a group of elderly people that rain or shine, like they take a squeegee and go squeegee off the pickleball court and go play. They're serious, man.
I know they do that here for tennis, but man, to do that for recreational pickleball is
They
crazy.
are serious stuff, man.
So let's get a couple more before we do our rapid fire here at the end. If you were to talk to yourself back in high school, obviously you're probably a very different person. And first of all, did you ever see yourself as being a politician?
Not at all.
Okay. Just I didn't think so, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So let's say you or another senior in high school, Marion, Mississippi, or whatever, maybe. What would you encourage them to start getting into now, as a high schooler, to potentially not even just necessarily politics, but like entrepreneurial, leadership, business, politics, all that kind of stuff?
Meet as many people as possible.
Okay.
And get their information. I mean, they got so now in high school, I would say meet as many people as possible. Get their name, social media accounts, email, and just stack your. I'll use an old school term. Stack your Rolodex high. Like, as many. So like basically.
For those of you that don't know, or Rolodex is a wheel that has paper on it, and it used to be our phone book.
Yeah,
you just
man.
put down. Okay,
That's
just so you know.
My grandfather used to have one up until like last year.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I mean, stack it up, man, to where like you have all the content. So like, I mean, even if you're getting ready to go to college, well, let's say you go somewhere like Indiana Western, you got like 2,500, 3,000 students. You should spend your 4 years meeting, try to meet everyone. Of them. You know what I mean? And so then, once you get out of school, you have these connections to where because I'm super pro-education, so I hate to say it like this, but especially when you get to college, like it's not always about the grades you make; it's about the hands you shake and who you meet, right? So the more and more people you meet, the more and more opportunities that you'll have to be able to do things.
Well, obviously I love education as well. My wife does too, but like. I feel like our world is going more and more to who you know rather than what you know, which is not always a great thing. I mean, there's a lot of jobs where you don't need college education for, and those are fantastic. We need people in trade schools, all that kind of stuff. But like even just like the teacher position nowadays, like they're just pulling anybody off the street and just say, hey, go get your emergency license real quick. Right. I mean, and I'm an emergency license person. Yeah. But I went to college for what I'm teaching. Right. So I didn't go to college to be a teacher. Yeah. But I have my major in my content area, But I mean, I love that. I mean, I've met so many people just being a teacher. Yeah. And I try to do as many like community things. So like I'm in the IWU Golf League. Yeah. Okay. So we play golf every Wednesday night, and I've met obviously former Mayor Jess Allenbaugh, just people like that, and that I like talk to regularly now. So
I'm telling you, man, you gotta
meet people. Yep. No, I love it. Yep. And how do you define success? Obviously, the world will tell you the more money, the more power, all that kind of stuff. How do you define success?
Man, that's a tough one, man.
I know.
The goalpost for success shifts to me after I had kids.
Yeah.
Right? So now my success looks like, am I being the best father, role model for my 2 daughters, right? But now, before having kids, success was how much can I accomplish and all the stuff that you would typically think of as a worldly success. But now, if I was trying to make a sense out of it, I would say, am I pleasing my father while also being the best father to my kid?
It's crazy how much your viewpoints change when you just add somebody else in your life, right?
Yeah, man, it makes a big difference.
Well, because as a single person, your views were significantly different than when you got married.
Yep.
And then now you're taking care of your wife.
Yep.
And then now you're taking care of a tiny little human being.
Yeah, man. Yep. So it changes, man.
Being a father is insane.
Yeah, it is, man. It's one of the most complicated and rewarding tasks that anybody can ever go on.
People ask me all the time, what's it like? Well, it's everything.
It's everything.
It's stressful.
Yep.
You cry.
Yeah.
You yell.
Yeah.
You do everything, but at the same time, you wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah, man. It's like, because one of the questions that people ask me a lot now is, what's harder, having my 2 girls or being a mayor? It's 100% my girls.
Oh yeah.
Because you just don't know what's coming. Like with a mayor, I'm the boss of people. I'm gonna tell you to do something, and
you delegate.
But the kids, it's like, man, so,
especially when they're 2 years old.
Yeah, man. So but that's how I would define success, man. Heaven is what I'm saying. That's what I'm referring to. So pleasing my father while also being the best father to my.
I like it.
Yeah.
Last question before we get to rapid fire.
Okay.
What is the best part of being a mayor?
Best part of being a mayor is getting to go out. Like yesterday, I got to go out and serve lunch at St. Martin.
I saw that.
Those kind of things, man. Everything about this job is not fun. Don't let people lie to you, right? But stuff like that where you get to go out and be in front of the community and show helping people. That's fun. Now there's some things that are not so fun, but that's definitely the top of the list.
No, I like it. I like it. Sorry, I had actually one more question.
Yeah, okay. No problem.
Business-wise, when we were talking to Bill Rock about attracting businesses to come into our city, he said it's a little bit of both, to where people see what you're doing here and they reach out to you. Hey, they want to come in, or you actually reach out to businesses.
Right.
So is it the same kind of in Marion, or
like right now? It depends on where your momentum is at. So right now, Marion has been traditionally slower momentum. So now it's me constantly reaching out to people. But like now, you're the mayor of Noblesville. You know what I mean? Like, people are calling. It's probably a lot of them calling you and trying to get you to come. So now I think that once we build up some more momentum, there'll be a lot of more people reaching out, as opposed to me from having to do the reaching out.
I think that's what Bill Rock said too. He said when he first started, he had to do a lot of reaching out, but now that we've gained a lot of momentum, people are seeing what's happening, and they're like, I want to be a part of it. So
it takes some
that's
time.
cool. All right, so we're gonna get into our rapid fire questions
let's
here.
do it, yeah.
So these have nothing to do with being a mayor.
Okay.
Just about being a person.
Okay. All right, cool.
Just answer the first off the top of your head. We'll start. We always start with the same one. What's your favorite breakfast food?
Bacon.
Amen. Crispy, or do you like a little bit chewier?
Crispy.
Like dark crispy?
Just the beginning of crispy.
All right, got it.
Yeah.
Favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
Now, are you
a lot of pig today?
Okay, is pineapple belong on a pizza?
No.
Okay, amen to that. Window or aisle seat on a plane?
Aisle, 100%.
Just for the leg room?
I need more legs.
I was gonna say, that's interesting. I'm the same way though, because I got to see the leg room. But favorite TV show?
Ooh.
Do you even get to watch much TV anymore?
I was watching something the other day. This is anime, so people make fun of me, but the Blood of Zeus on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an anime.
Hey, a lot of my kids love anime. So,
It's really good,
favorite movie?
All-time favorite movie.
I know it's hard. Just A1.
Do I watch twice? Friday.
Okay.
Friday.
Yeah.
You should check it
Okay.
out. Yeah.
Favorite music genre?
Oh, this is gonna catch you by surprise. Country.
Okay, I was not expecting that one at all. I was thinking more like R&B, blues, that kind of stuff. But
I think it's gonna be jazz. But jazz is a mental exercise for me. Country is just like a mindless effort I get to go into.
Yeah, because you were a jazz drummer. But that's what I know you from. Yeah, that threw me off there a little bit.
Yeah.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Butter pecan.
Okay.
Yep.
And if you could be a cookie, which cookie would you be and why?
I would be chocolate chip cookie because I am on everybody's menu no matter what. You never go in. If somebody's making cookies, chocolate chip cookies is never not an option.
I love it.
Yeah.
I always say I like to be a snickerdoodle because they look a little rough, but then when you bite inside, it's all gooey and warm on the inside. Favorite Mexican restaurant in Grant County?
Ooh.
We only have like 12 to choose from, so.
That's the choice because Marion got some
They got some good ones.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll divide it up. How if I want
people always do like best chips and salsa, best food, all that kind of stuff.
Divide it up, man. If I want chips, salsa, and then queso, chili queso, Los Amores. If I want the best Eros con Pollo, I'm going to Casa Brava.
Okay.
And if I want the best tacos, I'm going to El Taco.
I was gonna say El Taco. Yeah. I've only been there once, but it's kind of jumped up on the list to me.
That's where I'm at.
But Bree and I love Los Amores.
Yeah.
Los Amores is really good. We actually really like chips and salsa down here at La Cascada.
Okay.
La Cascadas, they got good chips and salsa, so you might have to come down here. I know it's a gas city place, but
I support the whole county.
Last question. People always said it when we were in school. Indiana Wesleyan is this like bubble right around Marion. Obviously, I feel like the bubble has burst a little bit more as we've been moving forward. Yeah. But with Indiana Wesleyan being one of, just say it, they help Marion run. Yeah. Not as much anymore because Marion's growing. What kind of connections and what kind of cooperation have you had with IWU so far?
Yeah, so far it's been great. I think that
because they just got a new president too, so you guys are brand new.
Yep, and it's been a good relationship with him thus far. I think that our the relationship can always be deepening on both ends of the spectrum. Right, there's been a long history of misinformation and rumors, and on both sides of the spectrum, right, and stereotypes and prejudices from both entities, right. But I think that now we're in a position in a point in time in history where we can come together at a collaboration that's never been done before. The city of Marion does a lot for Indiana Wesleyan, and Indiana Wesleyan does a lot for the city of Marion, right? So we're already in a marriage that can't be divorced at this point, So now we just might as well double down and figure out how we continue to help each other grow and be successful.
Yep. Yeah. Unless IWU decides to pack it up and leave, which I don't see them doing ever. Unless the only way they're leaving is if they ever have to shut their doors.
Yeah,
but
especially if they're sitting there since they're getting ready to build a new stadium.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what? Did you just spoil something?
No, they announced it. You didn't see it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they already announced
what stadium?
Basketball.
They're building a new basketball stadium? Yeah, where is that going at?
No,
is it going on campus?
That's the part I can't see it. But,
come on, man.
But no, they had a whole press conference.
I have to look that up now. Because I heard rumors of that a couple years ago.
No, it's legit, man.
But I didn't know it was actually happening.
It's legit.
So it's going to be like Grace now? They have their own like arena, basketball arena?
Yep. Legit, man.
Well, now we'll have to have you on in a couple months to tell us where it's going to be at.
No, you got to invite them. You got to have them come spill where it's going to be at. But it's going to be in Marion, though. I can
obviously,
yeah.
You don't want to put them down in Gas City?
No. That'd be something, right?
That would be crazy. But that'll be it for us. Ronald, sorry. You're a professional now. Thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, man, thanks for having me.
We really appreciate it. Yep. It'll be exciting. We'll have you on probably in a year or so just to kind of see where things are going. But
sounds good, man.
That'll be it for us on our first summer episode, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
See you guys.